So today we'll be talking about in the medical field. So let's get started. And at the end, I'll show you guys a random forest classifier of the breast cancer data set to determine if it's malignant or benign. All right, let's get started. So AI in the medical field. You can see here AI in medicine overview. AI medicine refers to use of machine learning models and algorithms to analyze complex medical data. This can include predicting patients' outcomes, discovering new drugs, or even interpreting medical images. IBM's Watson for oncology, for example, it's an IBM. It's a machine learning model made by IBM. It's designed to assist oncologists by providing treatment options based on patients' medical records and extensive literature data. So, until here, artificial intelligence in medicine goes into benchmarking, medications and healthcare services, explainability and transparency, certainty, robustness, data quality, reference data comparability, medical products, diagnostics, therapy, preventive care, and wearables. So the definition and scope of AI in medicine, categories of AI, application in medicine, will be drug discovery and development, predictive modeling and genetics, medical imaging and diagnostics, AI and DNA analysis, and biochemistry, and future applications of AI and challenges. The goal of AI in medicine overall is to enhance patient care, accelerate drug discovery, and improve diagnostic accuracy. AI in drug discovery and molecular dynamics. Challenges in drug discovery, high cost and long timelines. So the high cost of drug discovery and the long timelines it takes, the long time it takes. AI's role in identifying drug candidates by predicting molecular properties and simulating interactions. Talked a little bit about that last week, last lecture. Use of generative AI models for creating novel compounds. Application of reinforcement learning to optimize synthesis pathways. Drug discovery traditionally involves iterative cycles of synthesis and testing, costing billions and taking over a decade to bring a drug to market. AI accelerates this by predicting the efficiency of toxicity of a drug candidates early in the development process. Example one would be DeepCharm, which is an open source toolkit and AI training that uses machine learning to predict chemical properties like solubility, binding affinity, and reaction outcomes. Example two would be Existentia. I don't know how to, I could spell this right. Extentia, an AI-driven drug discovery company, uses generative models to create new compounds and optimize their properties. Their AI designed molecule BSP 1181 entered clinical trials in a record of 12 months, which should have taken decades without AI. And then we have AlphaFold. We talked a little bit about it last lecture. It's developed by DeepMind, predicts protein folding with near experimental accuracy, which is crucial for understanding the drug target interactions. So let's take a look at this here. You can see how here they work with DNA, get certain segments of it, target certain genes to create the drugs, make transcription and translation, get a target protein that is the desired protein. Now train a machine learning model, put the data set, generate and design, optimize, synthesize the medicine. Some of the molecules that are generated look like this: DDR1, DDR2, GSK3B plus GNK3, and then gets into virtual assays, into vivo studies on live animals, and then clinical development phase 1 to 3, and then gets to the market. That's how the drug development usually happens. So AI in the pharmaceutical industry, application areas would be like drug design and target identification, predictive modeling for clinical trial success, AI in personalized medicine, AI for optimizing manufacturing processes. So it doesn't just go into making the medicine, it also goes into the manufacturing process in the factories making the medicine in the lab. First example would be a personalized medicine. AI models analyze patients' genomic, phenotypic, and clinical data to tailor treatments. GNS Healthcare uses machine learning to model patient populations and identify individuals who would benefit the most from certain treatments based on their DNA and genome. Drug repurposing, Benevolent AI, it's another company, repurposed the varicocin, I don't know, originally a rheumatoid arthritis drug. Some drugs are hard to pronounce. As a potential treatment for COVID-19, by using AI to scan existing drugs for those that could block viral entry into the cells, like block the entry of the virus itself into the cells. Example 3 would be clinical trials. AI is used to predict patient responses and optimize trial design, thereby reducing the cost and improving success rates. Atomwise applies convolutional neural networks to assess the viability of drug candidates in different trial stages. So here we can take a look about its uses in pharmaceuticals. In drug design, predict target protein structure interactions, drug protein interactions, de novo drug design, drug screening like bioactivity, the drug's toxicity, psychochemical properties, identify suitable exceptions, monitor modified development process, and process specification compliances, in clinical trials like subject enrollment selection, patient dropouts, trial monitoring, in manufacturing like automated manufacturing, personalized manufacturing, identifies cause of errors. All this is done using AI. Product management also, marketing analysis, product costing, and quality assurance. Of course, AI gets into that too in pharmaceuticals. Understand critical process parameters, guide future production cycles, regulation of inline quality, laboratory management, system electronic lab notebooks. We can see here that AI solutions are being integrated into the operation of the biggest pharmaceutical companies in the world. By 2025, close to half of the global healthcare companies are projected to adopt artificial intelligence strategies. By 2025, and that's a lot of companies. Companies like AbbVie, Novartis, Pfizer, maybe you guys are familiar with it. Roche, Johnson & Johnson, AstraZeneca, Sanofi, Merck. These are all very famous companies, pharmaceutical companies. Next slide. AI models like convolution and predictive modeling in genetics. AI models like convolutional neural networks and recurrent neural networks are used to analyze genomic sequences and identify patterns indicative of diseases. Example 1 would be polygenic risk scores. AI is used to combine data from thousands of genetic variants to predict a person's risk of developing complex diseases like diabetes, cardiovascular disease, or cancer. Companies like 23andMe are integrating this PRS into their report for users. It's like PRS score lets them know, like based on your DNA, whether you would develop like diabetes or cancer or something else later on, like based on your DNA. Example 2 would be AI-powered CRISPR, which I'm going to show you guys a video on. This CRISPR model is an AI algorithm. They have like a high target specificity and reduce off-target effects on DNA cutting, like when they want to cut like certain parts of the DNA. It's vital for genetic therapies aimed at curing inherited diseases that are inherited by ancestors. Polygenic risk score here, development. It also goes into machine learning, like we said here. Here it's like splitting training, validation sets, all going through. But here we're using DNA. Do you guys know anything about DNA? You studied it at school? The 4 nucleic acids, right? Adenine, cytosine, thymine, right? And this is what they train these models on. So they train them on these nucleic acids and chains, DNA chains, right? So a person's polygenic risk score is a statistical calculation based on the presence of and absence of multiple genomic variants without taking environmental or other factors into account. So the role of AI in genomics would be like predicting gene disease associations, identifying potential therapeutic targets, genotype phenotype mapping, use of neural networks and ensemble models for genetic risk. I'm going to show you guys an ensemble model today for the breast cancer, which is going to be a random forest. So some of the things they do would be bringing in genomes and genetic data sets. They do their exploratory data analysis on the genes, do some feature engineering, drop the features that are not wanted, transform some features, scalars, do some data balancing, use something called the ETRF technique, do our data splitting, training and testing, do our hyperparameter tuning, and then our model gives us, gives us out what a person might, a disease might occur to him, like a mitochondrial genetic disorder, single gene disorder, and multifunctional genetic disorders. So it gives us like this prediction of what he might get in the future based on his DNA. With that model. Awesome. Also, we have AI in medical imaging and diagnosis. Example 1 would be AI for cancer detection. Deep learning models are used to analyze mammograms, MRIs, and CT scans to detect cancer at early stages. Google's Health AI system outperformed radiologists in breast cancer detection on mammograms, reducing false positives and false negatives. So you guys know radiologists, like the guys that do the radiology, X-rays at the hospital, that get your X-ray scans and all that, right? They said that this deep learning model did much better than these radiologists looking at these pictures and images and detecting whether there's a disease or not. Another example would be AI in ophthalmology. DeepMind's learning model can diagnose over 50 eye conditions from OCT, which is optical coherence tomography scans with accuracy comparable to human experts, like as accurate as a human expert. Example 3 would be AI-assisted surgery. Surgical robots like the Da Vinci system, which I'm going to show you guys the demo on, utilizes AI to enhance precision during surgeries by providing real-time image analysis and guidance. Look here. You guys can see here how AI is used in detecting like something like breast cancer, like images like these, where it knows the size of the breast, like the cancer inside the breast and everything. Like it detects it very well. Also in eye medicine, artificial intelligence is used to detect all these diseases in eye medicine, like anterior segment diseases, posterior segment abnormalities, fundus disease, visual field abnormalities, macular diseases, anterior segment abnormalities, orbital diseases, all kinds of eye diseases, basically. They use imaging and AI to detect all kinds of eye diseases. And this is what the Da Vinci system kind of looks like. It looks like this. And if you guys are interested in becoming surgeons, I'm going to show you guys this at the end. I like it. All right. Also, AI goes into DNA analysis. AI is used to analyze DNA sequences and identify coding and non-coding regions, as well as transcription factors binding sites. An example would be variant calling. Google's Deep Variant uses deep learning. It's a It's a machine learning model made by Google for this specific purpose. It uses deep learning to transform sequencing data to high quality variant calls, identifying mutations, which are changes in the DNA that might cause, you know what a mutation is, right? Like certain changes in the DNA that cause like, maybe give you like, I don't know, blue hair, something like that, auto mutation, something like that. And other genetic variants with high precision. This is critical for applications like precision oncology and understanding hereditary conditions, like conditions that are inherited by ancestors, basically. AI also plays a role in epigenetics, predicting how gene expressions change in different environments and under various conditions. Take a look here. So DNA sequences, you know, the whole genome, you can segment it using AI, you know, making alignments, you know, composition. Also here, you guys take a look at this. They catch a criminal by imaging his face using AI from his DNA. So they get like, this is in forensic science. They get like, they use a convolutional neural network here to make his face. It's a convolutional neural network combined with genomic embedding using a generator and a discriminator and getting the DNA from these genomic forensic samples, from his blood, from his hair, whatever it is. And then they make the criminal's face on the computer based on that. And they catch him and put him in jail. Crazy, right? Just from his DNA, like they can generate his face, his features, everything, right? Crazy. Yeah. So the criminal goes to jail. Alrighty. So I'll show you guys this demo on CRISPR, which is used to edit genes and DNA. I'll show you guys this. Take a look at this. That's the machine learning numbers. This is all done on a computer or done on a lab. This is Amazing, right? This all can be done on the computer, simulated way, or putting it into hands-on experiments. That was for the DNA analysis. All right, AI in biochemistry, which is the chemistry of biology, basically. The chemistry of living things. You guys take any biochemistry at school? At high school, right? You'll take it at college if you decided to go to the medical field. Example would be an enzyme designing. Like you guys saw the DNA cutting and everything, you can design new enzymes. AI is used to predict the catalytic efficiency and stability of engineered enzymes. They're engineered enzymes. Like they might have not existed before, but they make new enzymes. For instance, the Rosetta software suite integrated with AI helps in designing enzymes for breaking down environmental pollutants or synthesizing new compounds. That's for enzyme engineering. And another example would be AI in metabolomics, which is in metabolism. You guys know what metabolism is, right? Catabolism and anabolism. When the body builds and the body like shuts down certain stuff. Catabolism and anabolism. So this is also called metabolismic engineering, which AI is using it to. AI models are used to analyze metabolomics data, predicting interactions within complex biochemical pathways, and suggesting modifications that could enhance desired traits. For example, in crop plants or bacterial strains, they can make plants that a certain, like if there's a certain wheat plant that they like, but it grows in another country, but it can't grow in our weather, they can go do some of this enzyme design and metabolism engineering and then make it suitable for this weather. You know what I mean? Make a seed that it grows suitable in this weather, right? That's one of its applications. If you take a look here, AI use cases in biochemistry and healthcare would be like in progression of severity of illnesses, life expectancy of patients, key biomarkers and its impact on disease. We do diagnostics, predictions, symptoms, treatment, drug formation, imaging. In ensemble learning, they do protein engineering and cell culture engineering, bioseparations, biocatalysis and biotransformations, biomaterial engineering, bioresources and bioenergy, bioreactor engineering, environmental bioengineering, it's metabolic engineering that we just talked about right now, biosensors and biodevices. Like the devices, we're gonna talk about them, the wearables that monitor your health. You guys use any of those watches or anything? Monitor your health? Some people do wear watches to like monitor their health. We're gonna talk about actually. And here, like ways they do it, like when they draw samples out of people and do their metabolic network measurement using AI and AI models, do the AI analysis and result delivery. That's one of the ways it's done. So the future of AI in the medical field, for example, like I said, AI is integrating the wearable health technology AI is integrating into wearables like smartwatches and fitness trackers to monitor health parameters such as heart rate, oxygen levels, and even ECG. This real-time data can be used to detect anomalies and alert healthcare providers before a critical condition develops. Like they might even, patient has it on and it's connected to their doctor's office. They can read this stuff from their health rate, all these vitals from a distance, so they can keep an eye on their patients. Example two for AI for in pandemic prediction, like COVID-19. AI models can analyze global travel patterns, social media data, and clinical reports to predict the spread of infectious diseases and provide early warnings. Blue Dot, which is an AI-based platform, identified the outbreak of COVID-19 days before official announcement. So it predicted COVID-19 is going to break out before its official announcement because of how quick it spread. And I got that thing and it was awful. I didn't like it. So, in predictions and emerging trends, AI in telemedicine and remote diagnostics. Telemedicine, which is medicine from a distance. So the doctors can actually prescribe to you and diagnose you from a distance. Integration of AI with wearable health technology, AI for autonomous clinical decision support, use of AI to predict pandemics and global health trends. Ethical and regulatory challenges would be privacy, bias, and transparency. We talked about these before in previous lectures. We can see here that doctors might even become robots in the future, You never know, because doctors can be like robots like these, where we won't even need doctors anymore. Should be crazy, right? Because imagine if you can train a robot to in a simulated environment to do the stuff I showed you guys before. It's gotta be so easy to train a robot to become a doctor, right? And 50% of Americans use wearable technology to monitor their health these days in 2024. Track steps, monitor pulse, track calories, and they might even have more and more stuff just from having something attached to your blood. Knowing everything in your blood, knowing the vitamins, knowing it can go really far, right? AI and COVID-19, actual and potential contributions of AI against COVID-19. In COVID-19, AI was used to diagnose and diagnosis, social control, data dashboards, treatments and cures, tracking and prediction. It was used a lot during the AI, during the COVID-19 era years, especially when it broke out in 2019, and it was the 2019, 2020, 21. These 3 years were the worst, right? When it came to COVID, and I got it twice. It was bad. I remember that. So I'm gonna show you guys demos, a couple of demos here before we get into our training our neural network. Our random forest classifier. But first, we'll see the demos. Technology demonstrations, AI-enabled radiology tools like lung nodule detection for detecting nodules for lung cancer disease, AI-powered surgical system, discussion of pros and cons. Pros: enhance precision, efficiency, and scalability would be a pro. Cons would be high initial costs, need for robust data, potential biases, and very specialized training. So if you guys can take a look here, this would be where a lung cancer is. So using AI and the lung nodule, I'm gonna show you guys the lung nodule model. It shows lung cancer in this spot, and this is how minute it can go. You guys see this here? It shows these spots. These spots were skipped by the radiologist couldn't see them, or the doctor, but AI got them, right? And it made a boundary around it too, showing it here. Here it is. This is where the nodule and the cancer is. It's crazy. It's amazing. So, first demo would be on the Da Vinci surgical robot. I'm going to show you guys the older version of it and the 2024 version of it. and it's amazing. Its impact on surgical assistance. This is a video of Da Vinci surgical system performing minimally invasive surgeries with AI guidance, precision, and control. Its only problem is high cost and the need for specialized training, because you need to train someone on this device before they can be allowed to use it on patients. Let's take a look at the older version first. The one you saw in this demo was the older version. That's like a 10-year-old version. It's Da Vinci system, but this is the newest one, 2024. Actually amazing. Five. Thus, proves the absolute precision compared to accuracy. Big leap because newer one has 10,000 times the computational power. Older. Which is, you guys want to get into medicine or surgery? This is going to be your thing in the future. Awesome. So next would be the QCT lung, which is an AI model that shows the lung nodules in the lung for lung cancer detection, which is our last demo today. In this case, it can show how AI analyzes CT scans to detect lung nodules with high sensitivity. This improves early stage lung cancer detection and reduces radiologist workload, and it improves the outcomes. Let's take a look at it. You guys saw this. How the radiologists and doctors missed a lot of the nodules, but this model, like it got them out precisely. Even like the smallest, minute nodules. Got them out. Awesome. So this is the end of this lecture here. Before I get into the random forest classifier demo, you guys have any questions? No questions? Good. Okay. So let's take a look here. Brought in the code for this. So we're going to be taking a look at this data set, which is, it has 30 features. Okay. And it's supposed to detect breast cancers, whether they're malignant or benign. Okay, some of the features here look like this, you know. Actually, I'm gonna load all the features in first. Let's take a look at this data set here. I printed out the first 5 rows here, but it's not showing all the columns because we have 30 of them. It's showing like 20 of them right here. Let's take a look at its shape first. It has 569 rows and 30 columns, which are 30 features that are going to go into detecting and predicting whether it's going to be malignant or benign or a cancer. So here, this cell I'm going to run, and it's going to show me all the names of the columns and features in here. So some of the features that go into determining whether a breast cancer is malignant or benign are something like this: mean radius, mean texture, mean perimeter, mean area, mean smoothness, mean compactness, mean concavity, mean concave points, mean symmetry, mean fractal dimensions, radius error, texture error, perimeter error, area error, smoothness error, compactness error, concavity error, concave points error, symmetry error, fractal dimensions error, worst radius, worst texture, worst perimeter, worst area, worst smoothness, worst compactness, worst concavity, worst concave points, worst symmetry, and worst fractal dimensions. And these are all 30 dimensions that are going to go in, 30 features that are going to go into determining whether it's malignant or benign. We can see the numbers here, like something on the mean radius here, we have 17.99, 20.57. The mean texture also, we have these numbers, you know, so it's all decimal numbers here that we're going to be working with. So let's start training our model. First, I'm going to import all my libraries, my essential libraries. Run it in this cell. Okay, libraries are all imported. So we're going to be importing an ensemble random forest classifier. We talked about the random forest classifier before, right? And a standard scaler, we said we're going to scale these so that their mean is 0 and their standard deviation is 1. So because all these numbers are like floating around and they're all decimals. So we're going to scale them too. So first, what we do is we're going to load and our data set here. Run this cell. So here, our features are 30 input features from the cancer data set, and our target is malignant as 0 and benign for 1. And that's our target feature that we want to train it on. Predict. And then we're going to split our data into 80% for training and 20% for testing. This cell. So I put 0.2 here. That means 20% for testing, and the rest is going to go 80% for training data. Ready? Do our standardizing. Remember, I said we're gonna we brought in the scaler, we imported the scaler so we can scale these features before training the model on it, so the model's performance can get a little higher, working with scaled numbers. So we run this cell. Everything, you see, everything goes in order, right? We do everything in a certain order. Then create our random forest classifier, bring it in here. So classifier equals random forest classifier. We fit it into this classifier variable. And then in this classifier variable, we're gonna fit our train data. X train data, which is the input, and the Y train data, which is the output. Alrighty, run this cell. Classifier is trained. Then, gonna make predictions on our training, on the training data, the testing data here. We're gonna add X test. Run this cell. Okay, I like to keep everything organized in separate cells. So go back and change whatever. All right. So then evaluate the model. Let's see how good it did. Like, what's the accuracy of this model right here? Using a classification report, an accuracy score. Okay, so our accuracy is 96%, which is good. You know, it's not that bad. I mean, it's really good actually. Here in precision, it had like a 98% on the malignant, 93% on recall, 95% on F1 score. And like I said, these are the 4 metrics that we use to evaluate classifiers, right? I'll show you guys a regression model last lecture, right? That was, yeah. So it came up to 96% accuracy, which is, you know, it's pretty decent. We're gonna see how it does. Okay. So here I made 6 random inputs. Each input has all 30 features. Okay, and it's gonna tell us based on my 6 inputs, we're gonna see how it makes these predictions. So here, see how every input is separated by these square brackets. So this is one input, which with all 30 parameters. This is the second input right here. And I have 6 of them. Okay. But before we do that, also, we need to scale them because we scale the training data, so we have to scale the input data for testing too. So here we're doing our standardizing and our scaling. So let's run this, see what our predictions are. We have 6 going in. Each one of them has all 30 parameters and features. Let's see how it does. Alrighty, so we predicted the first one as malignant, the second input as malignant, third input as malignant, fourth also malignant, and fifth also malignant. Sixth one is the only one that's benign, which is it looks like it's doing really good, right? So our model is working at 96% accuracy. Let's see how it does here. So I can show you guys the data set in a better view. Here. But this is only showing 5. So let me show you like 50 rows so we can take a look at how it classified this for us right here. Here. See this? All 30 inputs here. Classified this one as malignant. This malignant, also malignant. B is malignant. Find 3 benign ones here. You know, and it all depends on these numbers, right? It searched for the patterns, it searched for everything, you know, and then you can tell here, this is a benign, this is a malignant, you know, based on the numbers that the model like was trained on. And at 96% accuracy, I think these are very good classifications and predictions. See, this is, I'm showing here 50 rows. So you can see the variance between malignant and benign here in the target column, putting in all 30 of these features, right? So we put all 30 of the features, we change the numbers around, like up here, I put these random inputs, 6 random inputs. gave me first 5 is malignant, 6th one is benign. And you guys, I told you before that malignant is the kind of cancer that if you remove, it comes back in the body, right? And benign cancers are the ones that if you remove, I think they don't come back. I think that's how it is in cancers. So you can see here. So let's bring this back to 5. So it doesn't take too much space. All right, next. We're gonna do some graphs to evaluate our classifier. Okay. So we're gonna make a confusion matrix first, see how good it did in the classification. Here, see here, it has 4 errors, right? We take a look here. It predicted 3 as malignant. I mean, it predicted 3 as benign while they were actually malignant. So 3, you know, out of 500, you know, that's not bad. And it predicted 1 as benign while it was malignant, which, you know, we have two bad ones here, but the rest of the model, you know, it did really well in its predictions, which, you know, this confusion matrix shows us that, you know, like 4 out of like 560, I don't think that's bad. That's where we got our 96% accuracy, right? Which is really good, not that bad. All right. Let's take a look at a rock curve to see its behavior. All right, so here I showed you guys a classifier before that had a straight line because the precision and recall and everything were 100%. It can show you here there's a little bit of a turbulence because we have these 3 and 1 here, these 4 bad ones here that weren't correctly classified. So this is where they show here on the true positive and the false positive rate. So it can show us that it did a little bit, you know, went a little bit crooked here, but you know, it overall it looks okay. Right? That's for the rock curve. And this is a very important one after doing this kind of classifier. It's called a feature importance curve, or a feature importance bar. Let's take a look at these. It shows you the most important features that affected the decision the most in this model. Awesome. So worst area had the most impact on making the prediction. Second column or feature that had the biggest impact was worst concave points. And mean concave points go in 3rd place. Worst radius comes in 4th place. And it all goes down until, seeing here, concave points error was the least to have any, you know, any specific impact or, you know, any high impact on the model. Our winners here are these ones. From worst area to mean area here, these are the most effective ones. This gives you a view of which feature is most important to look at also, you know. Doing this graph gives you a really, really good idea on how this model was trained and which feature, like this one here. You guys get what I'm trying to say, right? The feature here, this impacted the prediction the most. This worst area one. And you know, up till here, you see how they kind of gradually decreases in importance, but you know, all of these didn't have that much of an impact, but these ones here, they have the most impact. And this one has the most of the most, which is worst area. It gives you good intuition, a good idea of how the model is trained. Awesome. So last thing here, will be our precision recall curve, which is kind of like the rock curve. It shows that turbulence that happened. Take another look at, how our model performed. Here, I showed you a perfect classifier before. It had a straight line between precision and recall. And this is where it had a little bit of a fall, or some turbulence, because we saw that it had 4 bad classifications, right? Or false positive and false negatives. All right, last thing here, I'm gonna show you guys. It will be the cross validation, 5-fold cross validation to double check on the accuracy of the model. So we bring in cross validation score and run this. See, we have a 96% accuracy, which is good, right? 96% on a data set that has only 500 rows. But this is a lot of data though, like 30 columns. 30 columns is a lot, right? I just showed you guys something today that's, it's way beyond what you guys should be studying right now, but I feel like, it doesn't make any sense teaching you guys all this stuff without showing it to you in practical, right? And you guys seeing this in practical, like so far in the course, right now, you guys feel like your intuition is sparked a little, right? You know, like how the world around you works, how this stuff works, these classifications and stuff like that, right? It kind of gives you this spark of intuition, right? Which is good, right? That's why I'm bringing these in for you guys, even though they're like big data sets. This is what PhD and like master degrees guys get trained on. And this is I thought I had to bring this in for you guys. But I taught you guys some prompt engineering, right? Which I showed you how it's done on ChatGPT, how I tell it to put in features, how I tell it this is the output feature, create a classifier for me, create a regression model for me. So I taught you guys some prompt engineering, which actually you guys can go at home and like the sklearn data sets, you can take a look at them, bring in any data set now and work with it however you want, right? Just by using ChatGPT and Jupyter Lab, which is good. At this age, at this time, you guys doing this, I think you would have a really good edge in college. Especially in college, you guys would have a really good edge knowing this stuff and knowing how the world around you works, basically, for machine learning. So this is it for our lecture today, guys. I'm going to open up the quiz for you right now, so you guys can take it. And this will end our lecture for today. Let me just sign it for you guys first, because I don't want this error that happened last time happening. Okay, I opened it up for you guys, so you guys can start taking it now, instead of having the issue we had last time. And by the way, is which one of you guys, like, I don't know, it's a weird question, but which one of you guys got an 8 last quiz?
It might have been me, actually.
Huh?
It might have been me.
You?
It might have been.
Yes, I'm sorry, man, I gave you, because it didn't show me.
Yeah, that's why I was confused. I wanted to ask you about that because it said that I got a 10.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I'll go back and change it because I didn't,
Yeah,
I was unfair to Owen then, because I thought it goes by numbers, like the last one, and it didn't show me any of your names. So I'm going to edit that. So you're the one who got the 8?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, man.
No.
I didn't work to school. I opened the quiz for you guys.